There aren't many things that can make a wrestling fan cry, with the exception of Damien Sandow's career and the phrase involving Heidenreich. WWE's adult fans are a jaded lot, often championing villains over faces and rejecting sincerity like it's bad scampi, but there are some moments where WWE has melted even the most calloused heart. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and with a single tear running down my cheek, these are 10 WWE moments that made the fans cry. Number 10. Edge retires. When the Rated R Superstar became the Retired R Superstar, fans were shocked. There was very little pomp, no warning. Edge came out to the ring and dropped a bomb on people. When he said he had to go, you could hear people cry out in shock. Edge then delivered an extremely heartfelt 10-minute speech, during which he thanked Christian, his best friend of 27 years, for helping him come to terms with it all, and went through a short list of his career, from The Brood to flash photography to live sex celebrations. As the crowd took to their feet to give him a thunderous standing ovation, men around the world went a bit quiet, then went like, it's allergies, it's nothing, don't look at me. Number 9, Jerry Lawler's heart attack. Say what you like about Michael Cole, and many people do, in capital letters using words that would terrify a docker, but he handled himself with class and dignity on September 10th, 2012. On that night, Jerry the King Lawler had a heart attack live on air. It was left to Michael Cole to keep the audience at home informed. It's clear from his slightly wavering voice and his difficulty with maintaining eye contact with the camera that King meant and still means a lot to Michael Cole, and maintaining a professional composure so as not to worry the audience at home, whilst not knowing whether or not his good friend had died, is a heroic feat. It's one of the most effective babyface turns in WWE history. Number 8, Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth reunite. Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth were the best on-screen pairing since Sable, boob joke, and when they got married at SummerSlam, hearts were warmed by the only WWE wedding to ever not end in betrayal and body slams. Then Savage turned heel and left Elizabeth for the sensational Sherry. Elizabeth was heartbroken and would be reduced to watching on from the crowd, sad to see her guy fall so far. After Savage lost a retirement match against the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7, Sherry turned on Savage, literally kicking him while he was down. Elizabeth said, "That's all I can stands, I can't stands no more," and cleared the ring. Savage and Elizabeth reunited to the delight of the crowd. What a woman and what a man. Number 7, I'm sorry. I love you. Everything comes to an end. Even you, the viewer, watching this at home. Good luck with that. WrestleMania 24, and Ric Flair was wrestling with his long career on the line. If he lost, he would be forced to retire, and it was Shawn Michaels that was tasked with the job of finally taking out Old Yeller. Fans could predict it was coming, but they weren't quite ready for how it went down. With tears in his eyes, Flair staggered to his feet, seeing his career flash in front of his eyes. Shawn Michaels looked across the ring from him and said, "I'm sorry, I love you," and ended it with sweet chin music, which I think is how Old Yeller ended as well. As soon as the pinfall sounded, HBK kissed his hero on the forehead and immediately vacated the ring, leaving Flair alone with thousands of emotional fans. Which leads to number 6, Ric Flair's retirement ceremony. A bigger send-off the WWE has never seen. Every superstar on the roster came out to pay their respects to Ric Flair in his 40-plus year career, as did his family, and old rivals and allies from his past like Arn Anderson, Harley Race, Ricky Steamboat, and even The Undertaker, who never broke kayfabe, made an exception, offering the knee to Flair and the most demonic and lovely hug in the history of time. Not only was this all just too much, but it was the little things like Flair strutting one last time or dropping an elbow on his jacket that really plucked the heartstrings. Of course, Ric Flair went on to wrestle like a dozen more matches, but Number 5, Lillian Garcia sings the national anthem post 9/11. I don't really have too many jokes about this entry. 2 days after the attacks, the SmackDown taping was one of the first, if not the first, mass assembly of its kind in America. With people unsure whether the country was still under attack, Vince called terrorism a jabroni and went ahead with the show, resulting in a highly emotional SmackDown, which are two words that don't really seem to go well together. But no moment from the show was more powerful than Lillian Garcia's rendition of the national anthem. With the entire locker room on the entrance ramp, she came close to breaking down, but she powers her way through the song. Rewatching it is still chilling, especially when she bellows, "Our flag was still there." Number 4, 21-1. When Brock Lesnar beat the streak, the wrestling world was briefly shocked into silence. How? What? Why would they? And then the disbelief went one of two ways, either to furious rage or crushing sadness. Undertaker was beat up. That was obvious to anyone who was watching. He had suffered a severe concussion during his match with Lesnar and struggled to make it to his feet. No one came out to help him because it was scripted to be his moment. Dazed and confused, and with his streak over, The Undertaker suddenly seemed a lot more like Mark Calloway, and fans were moved to tears by watching their hero walk unsteadily into the mist. Number 3, Chris Benoit and Chavo Guerrero weep at Eddie's tribute show. Eddie Guerrero died on November the 13th, 2005, a few days before he was scripted to win the World Championship on SmackDown. The WWE organised a tribute show the next night in his honour, charting his career, but no sight was more quietly devastating than the sight of Chris Benoit openly weeping for his friend, and Chavo Guerrero, Eddie's nephew, shedding a tear. All macho posturing aside, Benoit delivered an address to camera talking about how much he loved Eddie, during which he broke down and wept, no doubt inviting fans at home to do the same. 18 months earlier, both men had embraced as champions at WrestleMania 20. Within 3 years of that moment of triumph, not one, but both men would be dead. Number 2, JR announces Owen Hart's passing. Owen Hart passed away after an accident at Over the Edge pay-per-view in 1999, falling from the rafters when a harness that was set to lower him to the ring gave way. The live crowd was shocked and confused, not knowing if what they'd seen was a work. The audience at home, however, hadn't seen anything at all. The news was broken by JR, who told the crowd that Owen Hart had tragically died. The tribute to him the next night on Raw was incredibly touching, but there was nothing more devastating than having the news suddenly dropping on you. That devastation receding into confusion and sadness at the loss of a great wrestler in his prime. Number 1, Conor the Crusher's tribute video. Okay, wow, that is really... watch it. It's desperately sad, but also somewhat life-affirming that even in a company as provably stupid as the WWE, when poo rains from the ceiling, midgets dress as bulls, and men simulate sex with dummies in coffins, even they can take time to make a little kid's life immeasurably better. They gave Conor McCallick, aka Conor the Crusher, not only an amazing WrestleMania experience, but also a pinfall victory over Triple H, which is the most precious gift of all. Watch the video, it's truly lovely. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you can even follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.